Roddy Rich with High Fashion and Mustard on that one. Dutchavelli, if only you knew. We're going in. Yes, I love it. I absolutely love it. I've got a special guest with me. Would you like to be called an activist? I feel like that's a word that's always thrown around when someone does something that's great for other people. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I think it's a positive word.
Yeah, you think it's a positive word?
I think it's positive.
I've got the lovely Lavinya Stennett here with me. Yay! Stennett.
Yeah.
Stennett. All right, cool. Thank you for correcting me now.
Right.
It's absolutely perfect. Good. How are you? How you been?
I'm good. Yeah, really, really chilled.
Yeah.
This week's been nice. Yeah.
Have you had a busy week already? Even though we just started?
No, this month has been very calm.
Yeah.
So I'm good.
Is that surprising for you, or was January like very, very busy, hectic for you?
January was very hectic. We launched.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we had a lot of responses, a lot of work to do because we also had some workshops in schools and things like that. But now it's just, I feel a lot more in control.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
For people that may not know who you are, just like tell us a bit more about you,
Yeah.
what you do, and how you got started, really.
Okay, cool. So my name's Lavinya. I'm 23. I just graduated from SOAS. I've done African and Development Studies, and I'm the founder and director of the Black Curriculum.
Say that with vim. With vim.
I'm the founder and director of the Black Curriculum.
Woo!
So essentially, it's an initiative that works to teach Black British history all year round.
Yeah.
In schools, to young people, 8 to 16.
Nice.
And we also work outside of schools as well.
Nice. What area is that? Everywhere, like north, east, south, west, or?
Well, do you know, it's because it's growing very organically. We're starting in London.
Okay.
Yeah, and we hope to get out
there
slowly,
more.
Slowly. Yeah.
Have you been faced with any like negative or positive feedback? What's been the response since you started?
Yeah, it's
since
been
you decided
good.
to take this on.
It's been really good. Like, people are really, really supportive.
Yeah.
Because I think they've wanted this for such a long time to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, finally. Obviously you have like your usual trolls, like what about white history?
Mm-hmm.
But like we do what we do.
Yeah.
And we're putting in that work. So for me, I think the response has been really positive.
You came up with the idea while studying, no?
Yeah.
Do you feel like there's a certain type of pressure now that you face now having taken this responsibility, because you noticed it and you was like, no, you're not just going to let it stand. You're just going to speak up and be like, this should actually be something that's taught year round, like in actual school, day-to-day schools and curriculum. So yeah, do you feel like it's like a massive responsibility? Like,
yeah, I think every day as I realize the position that I'm in, it gets more overwhelming, in a sense where I kind of understand that it's on us now to really just carry this forward, and believe and keep putting 100%, 110% in everything that I do. So it's like every day I realize that it's a greater calling, and it's above what I can do, what I can do. Yeah. So yeah.
And you've got a team of 30 now, right? Or has that expanded?
It's growing.
It's growing more. And is that all students, or is that mixed with adults, young kids? Like,
it's a range of people. So we have students, we have magistrates, we have teachers, ex-teachers. It's a range of people. Yeah.
In October, you started the pilot for the curriculum in schools in South London. What's been the feedback that you've received from the students? The response from this?
Yeah, so
do they take to it as well?
Yeah,
do they understand it?
I think with students, it's like, because they're learning new information that they haven't come across before, it's like, wow, I love this. Like, let's have you back. Let's do it again. And because we like emphasize a lot of collaboration, so like a lot of teamwork in our sessions, they get the opportunity to express themselves with other people. So they love it. And I think, a lot of the feedback forms that we've had, it's just like, I want to do this again. I've learned more about my heritage and my culture. And like, just to see and feel the impact that it's making already with those young people, for me, that's like, I've already achieved a lot with that. Yeah.
Have you received any pressure to expand the curriculum and focus on history from other minority ethnic groups as well? I'm sure people have spoken out. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, we've had comments like it should be. First of all, we've had comments like it should be the African curriculum. Okay. So it shouldn't focus on Black British history. It should just be like African history, and I totally get it. But for me, it's like we have to start here
somewhere, with our
experiences. And then there's been, other people calling for Chinese history, Asian history, and I totally support that. But I think those are separate projects. Yeah. For us, it's just the Black curriculum is about Black British history at this point. Just.
How much of that does that take up of your life? Like, is that like full time? Do you still get time to do other things as well? Or do you still keep a full-time job as well? Or like, what's your day-to-day like?
It's gone mad. So I was initially, when I left uni, I wanted to apply for jobs to go straight into government. That's what I wanted to do. And then like, you know, the black curriculum was like, yeah, right. It's just literally just become a full-time thing for me now. So I do try to schedule out time to just relax and do things that I like within my week, but literally it's a full-time thing. Yeah.
And are you religious as well? Like, do you believe in God?
I do, yeah.
Okay, so this process must have been overwhelming for you. What's your family? How they taking it? What's their response when you told them?
It's so funny. I haven't actually told my family.
Oh, so if they're listening to this now, they will find out. Wow. Did you tell any of your family members?
My mum knows. She's my mum is like the person who's steering me.
Yeah.
Like every day, like Lavinya, like.
Does she understand it? Does she understand that it's you?
She gets it.
Yeah, she gets it.
She gets it 100%, and she's so committed to this as well. And I think like because I was studying and I was like telling her of all these interesting things that I'm studying, I was sharing that information with her. So it got her to a point where she started to become like really passionate about Black history. And then now she's just like really involved. But my wider family don't really know about it yet.
No. Is it just you and your mum? Do you have siblings as well?
No. So I have two. Yeah, I have two. So my older sister and my younger brother.
Older sister and younger brother.
Yeah.
Do they understand it? What's their response? Obviously, they're near enough in age as well, so he'll probably be going through it soon as well. So what year group is he in?
He's 21.
He's 21. Yeah. So has he just finished university, starting?
I'm not entirely sure. You know.
Okay, cool. So how have they been like? Have they been very, very supportive as well?
Yeah. So I think just with like the people that I speak to, Black history hasn't been something that they've learned. So we're all unified on that understanding that it's like if we've learned Black history, it's to do with slavery, it's to do with these really disempowering and disenfranchising parts of history. So like people in my family, my closest friends are all on the same level when it comes to this.
So on the syllabus you teach 12 topics, right?
Yeah.
What are those topics? Do you mind?
So we have 12 topics and they're separated into 4 modules.
Yeah.
So the 4 modules are called art history, which covers like the history of like calypso music, reggae music, sound system culture.
Nice.
We have migration, which ranges from like 1700 to today. We have land and the environment, which explores like Black people's relationship to place and landscapes. We kind of touch on like Grenfell a little bit. So like bringing in more contemporary topics. And the last one is politics and the legal system, which is very relevant. As you know, like today, the flight went to Jamaica.
Do the young kids take hold on that? Are they? Because I'm assuming that they probably know of more than what people actually think of politics and stuff.
They know more than me.
Exactly, because social media and stuff.
Yeah, it's personal experience as well, a lot of this. So you find that young people actually start coming out to tell you about their experience about, you know, Black history and their ideas. And I think because we've now given them a space to articulate their ideas in a way, it's valid. It can be talked about in the classroom. They're actually starting to become a little bit more engaged.
I think my last point on this would have to be this. In one of the quotes that stood out for me in your article with The Guardian, you said Black British history continues to be viewed as insignificant.
Yeah.
Do you still feel that now? Do you still feel that's something that's very present, or do you still feel like that's something through the Black curriculum is changing now?
I think it's always been like that. We're living in a Eurocentric society where it's like white history is on the curriculum every day. You learn about Henry VIII, you learn about World War I, but it like completely excludes like the soldiers from the Caribbean and India as well, who literally fought in these wars for Britain. So I think the like society we live in, it's totally normal to exclude parts of Black history because we have these ideas that, you know, England was a white country, and that's just not the truth. Like empire stretched from the Caribbean to Africa to India. So yeah, it's currently still like that, and part of our work is actually doing that work but also campaigning so that the national curriculum and all these other policies that inform how young kids receive that information, it's totally represented in a better light and includes Black history.
Nice. Hey, heavy. Heavy. I'm loving it. I'm actually loving it, man. Thank you so much for actually coming down. We're going to get into a bit of Young Bane. Lavinya will still be here, so if there's any questions, I've got my phone on me just in case anyone wants to hit me on Twitter. And Mum, if you're listening, if you need any questions as well, hit me up on there as well. We're gonna play a quick game after as well. Are you excited for this game?
I am.
Yeah, you'll be the second person to play this game. We played it with Ransom last week, and he didn't do too bad. Producer Maya, he didn't do too bad. He was alright. It was alright. But I think you might find this a bit tricky because you said you don't listen to music post 2010. So that's very interesting now. So we've got a few old school mixes, but we've got a collective of nice different genres in there. So yeah, let's just see your musical knowledge, because you might have like seen it going out or your friends. So you never know what you know and what you don't know.
True.
Yes.
I'm open.
You're open?
Yeah, I'm open.
I love it. Let's get into some Young Bane.
Cool.
M1 on the beat.